All right, guys. So Biden has taken another massive L. Okay, another massive L as the Supreme Court blocks a new eviction moratorium, right? The one that the CDC imposed after the Supreme Court basically said, no, you can't extend it anymore. It must be done through Congress. But Biden said, no, forget the Supreme Court, right? Forget the balance of power. Forget the Constitution. We're going to do it anyways. After Cory Bush and AOC, the far left woke revolutionaries on the left, pressured him into doing it, right? Crying them crocodile tears, right? For tenants and people who don't want to pay rent, okay? Who don't want to pay rent. And Simp Biden, okay? He fell for it. He fell for it, right? Going out of his way through the CDC to illegally extend the eviction moratorium anyways, right? And they went out there celebrating, right? Cory Bush, AOC out there celebrating. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We saved so many people from being kicked out of their homes. But man, oh man, was that victory short-lived. Short-lived. Not even a month. Not even a month. So at this point, guys, I mean, with the Afghanistan thing going on, with the border, right? You guys remember the Supreme Court just a few days ago essentially handed Biden an L, making him reinstate Trump's remain in Mexico policy. I mean, at this point, Biden's taking so many L's, he might as well change his name from Joseph R. Biden to Joseph L. Biden. Okay, Joseph L. Biden should be his name, right? With the amount of L's this man is taking, right? But before we get into this, I just want to remind you guys that I do have merch, right? And if you guys want to check out my merch, it's at gforemanbcp.com. You know, make sure you guys check it out. I'm going to be coming up with new designs in the future, but right now, you know, I'm simply just selling my work hard, work smart, take risk shirts, which is basically the message that I want to put out there in regards to how to overcome any obstacles in life, right? With this victimhood mentality out here, I'm trying to put out a message that is anti-victimhood. That's kind of the message that I'm trying to put on some of my merch. Now, I will be doing more political stuff in the future when I come up with more ideas. I'm just not that creative though, so bear with me. Also, if you guys want a wooden flag star, you can check that out. Link in the description. That's sold by a small woodworking shop called Bridge the Gap. This star right here is pretty great. I will be hanging it up if I had room. But if you guys want to check it out, there's a 10% off coupon code link in the description. All right, so now back to Biden taking his L's. The Supreme Court on Thursday lifted the latest federal ban on evictions during the COVID-19 pandemic, siding with landlords against a moratorium the Biden administration imposed this month, despite questions about its legality. 3 liberal justices dissented. Of course they did. Of course they dissented. Because liberals, even those on the Supreme Court, don't really care about the Constitution, and they don't really care about private property rights, right? They don't care about any of that stuff. All they care about is their feelings, okay? Their feelings is how they think the laws of the land should be dictated, right? Based off their feelings. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has repeatedly renewed the eviction moratorium for millions of tenants affected by the pandemic, in large part to allow them to remain in their homes as state and local governments struggle to disperse some $47 billion of rental assistance provided by Congress. The order was set to expire August 3rd. As of July 31st, just $4.7 billion of the rental assistance had reached landlords and tenants. Guys, ain't that a damn shame? Right? I mean, $47 billion authorized by the federal government. Only $4.7 billion has been distributed, guys. I mean, this is been available since January, right? At the very least since March. Okay, this is what happens when you just assign money to a problem, right? You just throw money at a problem with no real plan on how to distribute the money, right? No real plan on how to execute, right? Congress is good at spending money, right? They're good at just saying, oh, no, we're going to just spend money on this. We're going to spend money on that. But they're not good at actually executing on the plans that they say they have. The details are what matter. And this is why we're in a record amount of debt. This is why debt to GDP ratio is the highest since World War II, because our politicians have no clue how to actually spend money, right? How to do it in a way that's efficient, right? They have no idea about that. because most of these people have never even run a business a day in their life. They don't care, right? Spending the taxpayer dime, just throw money at the problem. Don't worry, that'll fix it. That's what the progressives say, right? And this is what you get. You get a failure, right? This is a failure. Yes, it's the state's job to distribute the money. But again, the federal government shouldn't just be throwing money at states without states having some type of plan or some type of setup to actually get the money distributed efficiently, right? You can't throw money at a problem if you don't have the proper infrastructure to facilitate the distribution of the money, right? And where the funds are supposed to go. And guys, this is not the only program that's suffering from this, right? The money that's supposed to go towards schools. Guys, there's so much money that these schools don't even know what to do with it, right? There's so much money that we've authorized to go to these schools. They don't even need it. They don't need it. That's why, again, you got schools spending federal dollars on ankle monitors and stuff like that for kids because they have so much money, they don't even know what to do, right? Again, this is why our government is in debt. This is why we're in debt. Stuff like this. But regardless, there are people out there that probably do need it, that do need help, that are struggling, that are out of a job under no fault of their own. But at the same time, you still have the enhanced unemployment benefits, right? You had the stimulus checks. You had all types of stuff out there, right? But in Thursday's unsigned opinion, the court's conservative majority said the temporary eviction ban exceeded the CDC's authority to combat communicable diseases, forcing landlords to bear the pandemic's cost. Yeah, they're going to have to do it through legislation. The CDC is not more powerful than the Supreme Court, okay? We have a balance of power for a reason. I mean, the CDC is just a government agency. It's not even a major branch of the government, right? So, yeah, I mean, Congress has to pass laws. Democrats, again, they got to do their jobs, even though I don't want them to extend eviction moratorium. But if they're going to do it, you got to do it legally, right? Quote, the moratorium has put millions of landlords across the country at risk of irreparable harm by depriving them of rent payments with no guarantee of eventual recovery. The court said many landlords have modest means, and preventing them from evicting tenants who breach their leases intrudes on one of the most fundamental elements of property ownership, the right to exclude. Ding, 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 ding. Right? The precedent that the Biden administration was setting was some flat out communism. Okay? I'm for real. I'm so serious. It's not even an exaggeration. Because again, it does go against the fundamental element of property ownership, right? My ability to tell people that you cannot live in property that I own, right? Like, come on. The government was basically telling people that own a house, right? Something they paid for, that they had to keep people living on property that they own, even though they didn't want those people living there. Again, this is against the fundamental foundations of our country, right? And capitalism, which is private ownership, right? Ownership of property. And see, that's something that Cory Bush, AOC, they don't understand that stuff because they don't, they say they don't like capitalism, even though they take advantage of it. But, because they preach socialism, right? So they don't care. And Biden's just as guilty as they are. While White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called the decision disappointing, though President Biden had acknowledged the order was legally shaky. He knew it was illegal and unconstitutional, but he did it anyways. Quote, as a result of this ruling, families will face the painful impact of evictions, and communities across the country will face greater risk of exposure to COVID-19, Ms. Psaki said in a statement. Look, here's the thing. There are plenty of jobs out there that are hiring, that are giving sign-on bonuses, that are paying plenty of money to be able to help people pay rent, right? If you're struggling to pay rent, it's because you don't have a job right now, right? It ain't got nothing to do with the pandemic. It's because you literally don't want to work, because there's so many jobs out there that are available that there's no excuse not to have a job, right? And they're paying more money because they have to recruit more labor. So right now, if you don't have a job, now's the time to get one. I'm so serious. There's not going to be a better time. You better get one before the Democrats figure out a way to grant all these illegal immigrants amnesty, right? Because then at that point, they're going to take the jobs and they're going to be willing to work for a lot less, right? A lot of these employees might say, screw paying $15 an hour. I'm just going to hire somebody on the table. They might do it. I'm just saying, be careful what you ask for. But guys, what I really want to tell you is, after these two decisions, right, from the Supreme Court, two major blows to the Biden administration, I would not be surprised if the progressives renew the calls to pack the court. I guarantee you guys, the conversation now on social media from the left-wing media is going to be, should Biden try to pack the courts, right? Remember, he has this committee to investigate packing the court, right? Which really is him trying to appeal to the progressives. I don't think he really wants to do it. They was just saying that. But now that the Supreme Court, like the conservative majority has come down with these rulings and opinions, right, in regards to the border, in regards to this, especially this one, I expected to see the woke left renew calls to pack the courts, to say, you know what, no, this is not fair. There's too many conservative justices up there. We have to put more liberal justices on the court. I wouldn't be surprised to hear it at all. Matter of fact, I expect it. That's what's probably going to come out of this, right? That's what's going to come out of this. But we'll see. Until then, I'm glad that the Supreme Court did the right thing. I'm glad that these landlords have regained their property rights. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.